Hello everyone. Today I'll be presenting to you a speech about depression, the effects of depression, the causes and the results of depression. First off, what exactly is depression? Depression is a common but serious mood disorder. It causes us to have severe symptoms that affect how we feel, how we think, our thought process, our daily activities, like eating, sleeping, and working. It changes our entire mood throughout our day. And it really just it's very impactful. By definition, depression is a serious, sad, anxious, or empty mood. It gives us feelings of hopelessness, pessimism, feelings of irritability, frustration, or restlessness. It can give us feelings of guilt or worthlessness or helplessness, like all these things here. Loss of interest or pleasure in hobbies or activities, things we've always been interested in and always had a lot of fun doing. Personally, I still do, but I had a period where I was super excited to play video games all the time, and I loved playing video games, and that was my big hobby. And then all of a sudden, I wasn't interested in that anymore. And that wasn't because I lost interest in doing that thing, or it just became boring to me. I just lost the effort and the passion for that thing. Video games in my case. But eventually, my depression went away after a long while. It took way too long. But eventually, depression went away and I'm back playing video games all the time. So we feel fatigued or slowed down just throughout our daily life. We feel like everything's slowing down and nothing's going as quick as it used to go. From my experience with depression and what it's done to me, from my experience, is given me a lack of motivation at school. I would lose motivation. I wouldn't want to work as hard as I used to work. I feel like I'm not making any progress. That would get me depressed, and I would think, because I'm not making progress and I'm not doing as well as I think I should be in school, I'm just going to give up. I'm not motivated anymore. I'm going to crawl at a snail's pace instead of going as fast as I can and being effective. And feeling as though I'm too far gone in my sin to return to God. This is a lie from the devil. And because of the sin struggles we have, and knowing from the Bible and through preaching, we know that the sin is wrong, of course, and that we should return to God. But sometimes we feel so deep and stuck in our sin that we think even God can't love me now. I'm too far gone. But He says in His Bible that nothing can pluck us out of the hand of God, not even our sin, not even the devil. So that's a lie from the devil. There are many different types of depression. There's not just one stereotypical type of depression, like, oh, I'm sad, I'm disappointed, my life's horrible, I'm miserable. No, there's different causes and different types. There's major depression. This is a type of depression that affects a lot of people. It's pretty widespread out. This lasts from it's considered major once it becomes prolonged, like 2 or more years. So really long and dragged out. Then there's persistent depressive disorder. This is like the kind of depression where it just keeps kind of coming back over. It could be months, it could be years, but it just keeps coming back. It's persistent. There's, see how I pronounce this word right, perinatal depression. And this is depression while you're pregnant, supposedly, for women. So there's also postpartum depression. I didn't put that in here, but those could be considered the same thing, but they're different. Postpartum depression, that is after you've given birth. You are depressed. I don't know why you'd be depressed after not being pregnant anymore, but that's different than perinatal depression, because this is why you're still pregnant with the baby. There's seasonal affective disorder. This is a disorder that my father struggles with, so I know quite a bit about this actually. So this will be depression that will start in early fall or late fall, early winter maybe, and it lasts during that whole fall and winter season until things start warming up, trees start turning green, grass starts growing more, flowers start growing, so like early spring. It affects my dad in the fact that he gets in the blues during the winter and the fall season. When things are getting cold, he starts dragging. He gets disappointed that it's not warm anymore because he loves the cold. Or not loves the cold, he hates the cold, he loves the warmth. He loves summer and spring. And he just doesn't want to leave the house at all when he has this. So like he won't even sometimes want to go to church. And that's something that I've had to help him with some during the winter. When I love going to church personally. It's one of my favorite things, my favorite ways to fellowship with other believers. But I love church. So I've had to provoke and convince my dad at times during the winter to come to church with me. I know he's not doing it because he is angry at God or anything like that. He just doesn't like leaving the house when it's cold. And I understand that. There's also this last one, depression with symptoms of psychosis. This is pretty severe. By psychosis in this I mean people start hallucinating and having schizophrenia symptoms. So they start seeing things that aren't there, hearing things that aren't there, and things like that. They're psycho. So millions suffer from depression. It's not just an American issue. It's around the world. In fact, 280 million people in our world today suffer from depression in one form or another, as I just mentioned. Often, if they aren't given proper help or they don't find Christ during their depression and don't come back to Him, they can typically commit suicide because they see no way out. That is the worst solution to this problem. There's so many better solutions, and even if you commit suicide and you have family members that aren't depressed, this can lead them into depression. Very easily could do that. This year, 2023, also some 2022, it's not just 2023, like so far since January, but like in a year's time, there have been roughly 132 suicides per day. That is heartbreaking, that's horrible. People need help. According to the World Health Organization, so far this year, there have been approximately 703,000 people who have successfully committed suicide. By successfully, I mean many more than that have attempted and failed, and luckily they failed. And I mean that sincerely, because now they have a second chance at life. Studies from the HIMH show that there are higher rates of depression and increased risk for depression disorder among the LGBTQ plus community members. I don't find this surprising at all that this community is sad and depressed, and they're just so lost. They don't know their direction in life. Their entire personality and belief system in being in that community is not based off the Bible, so their entire way of life is contradicted into Scripture and to everything God says. There's my reference for yes. So depression, as I mentioned, by talking about suicide and what it can lead people to do, is very serious in our modern day culture. But that makes you wonder, is there actually a solution to depression? Or is it just hopeless? Well, the world's makeshift solutions, by makeshift I mean these aren't completely perfected solutions, because antidepressants, in this first example, that can leave a lasting effect on your body, and you can become dependent on those drugs, antidepressants or medication. But they can lift your mood, and as a temporary solution, this can work if you're that far into the black hole of depression. It can find you a while to find the type of antidepressant that works well for you, because not all of them are the same. And there's also, according to WebMD, there's another form which I found out about this when I was doing research, called psychodynamic therapy. I'm not sure exactly how this works, but apparently it helps patients explore the full range of their emotions, including feelings that they may not be aware of. Personally, I don't know how you could have feelings and not be aware of them. I think that's kind of like the whole premise of feelings, is that you feel them. But these are the Bible's solutions. Christ's solutions He gives us that are flawless. These will leave no lasting negative effect, I guess I should say. These will give us a positive effect in our life, lasting. The most effective and pure form is the Bible, and we can find purpose and meaning through God's promises to us. He promises us that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. He created us perfect. Well, no, not perfect, sorry, misspoke. He created Adam and Eve perfect, but they sinned, and because of our sin, we are not perfect. But He promises us that through His Son's blood, Jesus Christ, we can be made perfect. Our souls, at least. Our bodies are not. Personally, this is a form of treatment that I've sought in my own life to come out of the recesses of depression, and it's worked for me. I can say that. It's made me happier every day, happier than I ever was before I was even depressed. And I would recommend this form of rehab to everyone. So there's my bibliography, that's all my references. Thanks.